Well, welcome back to the Woodland Camp channel. Should just say the Woodland Base Camp, I guess. Today we're going to talk knives. I know it's a subject that's been touched on a million times, I guess. Now we could talk a little reality. Common man budget. Not everybody can go out and spend $200 or $300 for a bushcraft knife. And why would you want to? You know, you don't really need something that expensive. And so today we're going to talk knives, and a few more knives. You know, I've got a bunch laying out here you can't see at the moment. But we're going to start with the most basic, budget-minded butcher knife you can buy. The old hickory. This is a brand new one, actually. And if you live in the country, you got some really old country stores, go take a look. Sometimes they'll have some of these hanging around. A friend of mine down in Tennessee got me 3 of these at an unbelievable price of $10. Now that is a good starter bushcraft knife. Cheap. If you lose it, you only out a few bucks. But they're tough. They're durable. Our ancestors used these things, you know, the old pioneers, the buffalo hunters, all that. They used a butcher style type knife to do all of their work. The wagon train people. You know, you don't need a $200 knife to get started in bushcraft. Here, that's an old hickory I modified into a Kemphart style. Didn't take much work at all. I'm left-handed. I'm a leather worker. I make my own sheets. Here's another one my friend in Tennessee sent me. It's exactly the same as an old hickory. This one is made by Crown Cutlery Company. It's a little bit heavier, actually, than the old hickory. Same design. Probably $2 a yard sale. You know, if you watch yard sales, this is exactly the way he sent it to me. I haven't taken the time to make a sheet or anything for this. Now, that's your low budget in. Let's kind of step up just a little bit. This is a Mora Companion, carbon steel, made in Sweden, under $20. Today's price is still under $20 on Amazon. That's a pretty nice knife. I actually bought a couple of these, not both companions. They come with a pretty durable plastic sheath. You know, if you like plastic. I'm a leather guy. I don't really like plastic that well. So anyway, you know, under 20 bucks. The Mora Robust. Again, carbon steel. Made in Sweden. Really good edge. Cheap budget starter knife. And we're going to step up to a little more expensive one. I'm going to try to keep this video short. This is the Condor, made in El Salvador. This happens to be the Kemphart design. The Condor right on the blade. I can't say too much for the edge on this knife. It's not really what I expect out of a knife, so I got to do some work on this one. Comes with a nice leather sheath. That's Condor style sheath. They're retailing now for around 55 bucks on Amazon. I looked these up just to make sure. And you got the Condor bush lore. I like this knife. Full tang. Got a real nice Scandi grind on it. Holds an edge really nice. I have been using this one in all of my outings here lately. It retails right now off Amazon for $55. I think I paid $40 or $45 when I bought this one. So inflation prices have shot things up a little bit. Now we'll step into a little more expensive knife. Get this thing open. It's got a tight really tight deal on it. For some reason my snap doesn't want to open. Been laying around a while. I know, I used the edge. But anyway, this is the Buck model 119. Now we're stepping up in some price here now. They've been making this knife since the 40s. It's stainless steel. I'm not real crazy about stainless steel. I'm a carbon steel guy. Retail right now on Buck's website, American made, is $75. Comes with this really nice heavy sheath. So your price range is going up. I will step up to the Buck Vanguard. Really nice knife. Stainless steel. I've had this one for years. Got a rosewood handle. Of course, it comes with a factory sheath, exactly the same design that I have in my hand, except I took theirs and converted it to a left hand for my use. Unfortunately, I think I paid $65 for this many years ago when I bought it. I looked them up last night. They run anywhere from $109 to $129 now. Depends on which website you're looking at. Pretty durable knife, very well made. Now we'll step up to one that's a little more expensive. This is a custom made knife here. It's Damascus. Got about a 1/4 inch spine on that thing. It has a pretty good edge on it. I don't use this knife. I'm a collector, so a lot of these knives I don't use. But this one is around $150 for this. Which is not really a bad price if you have a budget for it. Of course, it came without a sheath, so I had to make my own. Another custom knife, made by a friend of mine in Texas. Got deer antler handles. It's just short of a 1/4 inch on the shank on that thing. Again, this knife does not get used. It's in my collection, so I do not use it. It had a sheath, but I didn't like it. Designed my own. Ontario knives. Rat 3. Comes with a Kodak sheath. I don't like Kodak either. This little knife used to be my EDC. Everyday carry. This thing has been put through the mill. Beat on, hammered on. It's seen a really rough life. And it's not broken, chipped. The McCarty handles are handling up pretty good. So, it was $75 when I bought it, and I've had it for quite a while. I didn't check the price on this to see what it's going for now, but it's American made. Ontario Knives is who makes this. And we have one more. My little neck knife here. That is what's left over of a modified old hickory butcher knife. That's the end that was left off the tip of the blade. I modified an old hickory for a friend of mine's wife. It was smaller and everything, easy for her to handle. And that's the leftover off the blade. Made a nice little neck knife, utility knife for around camp or whatever. It's an EDC. I carry this little thing every day. Cheap. If I lose it, I'm not out very much. Just a little time that it took me to make it, you know. So you really don't need big high-end knives to get started in bushcraft. That's the thing about it. Everybody pushes all this hype, and most, you know, a lot of these guys are big YouTubers, you know. I'm a little minnow down here in this YouTube pool. I make videos for fun. That's what I do. I enjoy it. I make videos for fun. Retired, gives me something to do. My coffee water looks like it's boiling over here. I always got to have my camp coffee, that's for sure. But you know, the big manufacturers, they reach out to these big YouTubers and, hey, we'll give you this knife if you'll give us a big review on it and all that stuff, you know. Now they're pretty high range in price. Affordable knife for somebody who's just starting out in bushcrafting, not sure whether they're going to like it or not. They don't need to spend $200 for a knife. Go pick up you an old hickory, hit the woods, go beat it up, see how you like it. Learn some skills. If your budget allows later, buy something more expensive if you want to. If it don't, stay with what you got. The Mora knives, they're really budget friendly. Under 20 bucks. They're a well-made knife. They're not full tang, but they're well made. They got a good edge on them and all of that. So just take it as whatever you want, you know. I got a pile of knives laying here. Most of them just stay in a drawer. They don't get used. They stay in a collection. You know, I have certain ones I use all the time. I like them, and that's what I prefer to carry out here. Not to say, you know, I don't bring one of the other ones out once in a while just to mess around with it, but I don't. I have certain ones that come to the woods, and that's the ones that are here all the time. Pretty much EDC for the woodwork. Out in the bush. If you beat it up, break it, you're not out of a lot of money. That's the whole thing. You start batoning on a $200 knife and you bust the handles off of it or knock a big chip out of the blade, then what do you got? You got to work, and try to get that out, or send it back to the manufacturer as a defect. So that's the cheap end is the way to go. Stay away from the big, huge, expensive knives unless your budget can afford it and you really want one. But for the normal, common, everyday working person, if they have a family, a lot of times their budget don't allow that, you know. They're pretty much working week to week to pay their bills, feed their kids, put clothes on their back, and a roof over their head. If they want something real expensive, most of the time they probably have to save back a few pennies at a time. Me, I'm retired. I get a small retirement check every month. The tent behind me came from Walmart. It's not a Walmart brand though. It's a different brand. It's a Forest River or something like that. I think that was 80 bucks, but it's been laying around for years. You know, there's one Tagris tents I've been looking at. I'm saving up a little bit. There's one I really want to buy. Will it be soon? I don't know. It depends on how quick I can save up the money. But anyway, I'm going to take a short break. My coffee water's boiling away. I'm going to start my coffee, and I'll be back. Kind of added that little improvement since the last video. Neighbor was tossing those big pallets out, so I took a chainsaw, cut one in half, and made a workbench for down here. I don't laugh at my Mother Nature's crooked legs there. That's what she provided, and that's what we're using. Oh, doggone it. I keep forgetting to flip the lens over so I can make sure I've got everything in focus. That shows to show you I'm not a big professional. I tell it like it is. If I make a boo-boo, I'm going to let you know I make a boo-boo. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this little video. Keep it kind of short. Starting to cloud over, gonna mess up my video light anyway. Got my cup of coffee in a glass cup. I prefer glass, not tin. If I was good enough to carve myself a Cusca, I'd do it. I cannot carve wood at all. Build you a house, build you a log cabin, but I can't carve a spoon or a darn wooden cup. I'm gonna try though. Anyway, I'm gonna end it right here. You have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next video.